Hi guys, so hope you're all doing good. So it's the year 2024 and guys, I promised you that I'm going to do the costing video for my A-frame, and this is what this video is going to be telling you about. I'm going to be doing it in sections. So today I'm going to be focusing on the foundation, and guys, I kid you not, this is the most, I bet you know, this is the most affordable foundation in the entire, let's say Kenya. Let's be humble, let's say Kenya. I don't know what those other people do, but yes. So then my foundation was 8.2 by 6 meters. Initially it was around 6 by 5.4, but I've explained that in a previous video. I just decided the beauty of an A-frame is you can extend as you go. So you do what you can, and then in case you need extra space, you just, elongate it. So as it stands, it's 8.2 meters by 6 meters. And so for the foundation, the first thing that I used was the tires. So for the tires, it was 28.4 meters. 28.4 meters, that was the perimeter of the wall. So you take the 8.2, you take the 6, you multiply by 2 so that you can calculate for all the sides, okay? And then remember the diameter for one tire, the one that I was doing, was around 1 meter. It was 900 to 1 meter. So for calculation purposes, I'm going to be using 1 meter, okay? And that is how tires have an advantage over masonry, because if you're doing masonry, the width itself is around 400. So you need 2, okay? You need 2.5 stones to do the equivalent of one tire, okay? And something else about the tires, the tires are around 400, was it 400? Yeah, they're around 400 meter high. No, 400 millimeters high, if I remember correctly. Was it 400? Yes, I'll confirm that because I only used 2 courses. So generally without all the stories. So once I calculated, I had 28 tires on the first course, and then the second course, of course, it's 28 because I did 2 courses, and then that was an equivalent of 56 tires. I was buying my tires for, that is actually plus transport. So the thing here is, don't go for the best tires. No. Remember, we just need the circumference. Yeah, we need the tires as they are. We don't need them new. So I was buying them for 50 bob. That was plus the transport to the sites. And so it's 50 times 56 because I was using 56 tires at 50 bob. So the cost for my foundation was 2,800. Guys, I'm not lying. You can count, you can see, go ask around, 2,800. So in your case, if your tires they're around 200, do the costing, because if you're doing masonry, that is mawe ya kawaida hii ndarugo, you'll be buying a stone at around 70, okay? So you need 2.5, and then you're going to need, because the tires, because they are this thick, because they're this thick, you only need 2 courses. For the masonry, you need 2 courses of tires. For the masonry, the equivalent will be around 4 courses, okay? 4 courses of tires, okay? So keep that in mind, plus the cement and everything. So as I'm doing this video, I just want you to correlate it to the standard ways of doing normal foundations, okay? And then before I move forward, the beauty of doing a foundation using the tires was because, first of all, if I was doing the kawaida way, I would need to, once you've done you've dug the trenches, you'd need to put the concrete bedding, you'd need to put the riba ni zile D8, but for these tires zenye ziko na chuma on the sides, okay, and then they are round, and then they are compact, so you just get the levels and you're good to go. So guys, that's how my cost for the foundation was 2,800. Remember, 2,800, I'm not filling it with anything. Sasa ile mchanga yenye ninafuku hapo ndani, that is what using kujaza hizo taya ndani. So nothing is going to waste, okay? So yes, and then I used just buy one roll of DPM. DPM ni ile karatasi. So for it was 3,300. That's how much I got it for. And then so for this point, cause initially I used in my project, I know I used Gladiator, and I bought it for around 2,800. But saizi, if you're doing it for your own costs, I would advise you go for Premise. Premise is like it's the latest anti-termite treatment out there, and actually it was it's the same manufacturers who used to do the Gladiator, but then Gladiator, it has so many fakes right now, so just go with Premise. Premise is expensive, but guys, I always advise when doing this type of houses, especially because me, I was using wood on top, it's good, don't gamble with the anti-termite treatment. So 1 liter for the Premise, 1 liter covers around 160 square meters. So for my house, I would have used 16,000. That is not what I use, but for the sake of this calculation, in case you have an A-frame of this same size, no, that is what you're going to be using, around 16,000 shillings for the Premise. That is just the what? That is the termite control, okay? So for the rebar ni hizo chuma, I did 4 number D10. I was buying them at around 1,000, so 4,000. Yes, that is for the bond beam. And then I was doing 2 number 8. Yes, that is what D8. So I was doing D8 at around 800. So it was 1,600. So the total for the rebar was 5,600. And then sewn formwork ni hizo mbao za sides za kushikilia tu hiyo beam. That is the only sewn formwork that I needed. Okay, so I was using 6x1 timber. I was buying them at around 30 bob. It's 5,910. Okay, and then cement for just doing that bond beam. I used 5 bags of cement. I used a half ton of sand. That was 500. Okay, 5 bags of cement at 650. Right now I think it's around 700 to 750 depending on where you're from, but for me it was 2,600. Quarter ton sand, that was 500. A ton of ballast was around, is it 1,000? Yes, was it 1,000 or just give or take 1,000? I can't remember. So the total was 4,100. Okay, and then for the floor, remember the soil, which is it's very important to determine or to understand the type of soil composition that you have. Our soil in Voi, okay, it has a lot of sediments. It's like a mazeras of sorts. Okay, it's like not mazera, it's like blinding. It's maram blinding. So maram blinding, once you compact it, with water, you compact it as you do when you're compacting the roads, it's become farms. In fact, you're forming the rock. You're forming a rock naturally. You know how rocks are formed? It's called sediments, and then you stamp on them. But now that was all I needed. What I'm trying to emphasize, I didn't do anything. I just had some maram that I dug when I was doing the toilet, the pit latrine, which I hope you guys have watched. I also did my outlaw. I call it an outlaw septic tank, and I put the toilet on top, and I used tires. Okay, so it's a septic tank, but you have the toilet on top. I don't know if you guys have read about that, but I think I'll be doing a more thorough video. But if you haven't looked at my YouTube shorts, there's a way I explained how I did that. So once I dug, that is what I used to fill in the house. And then for mazeras, guys, or if you're not from Kenya, mazera is flagstone. You just put sand on top, you level it, and then you do the mazeras on top. Okay, and then you fill those guts with cement. So the mazeras cost me, I remember, from that place to where I was, it was around 9,000. That much I remember. And then sand, I just used 1 ton. Okay, I used 1 ton. And guys, the beauty again of when you see these costs, I always say use what you have on site. Okay, at the coast region, it has like so much, tunajua deposits of sand huku kule, so part of it I didn't really, in fact this 1 ton I'm just giving you for the sake of calculation. I think I harvested it somewhere, but the point of harvesting and then getting someone to carry it for you is still the same as buying. Okay, so that is for the mazeras, for the floor, that was 10,000. Guys, I've not included labor right here. So this I'm just doing material costing. So total foundation cost was 28,410. Okay, if you want to give it like around 30 because of your ballast or something, give it around 30. I used 30. In fact, let me just say I used 28,410 shillings for the materials of my foundation. Yes, guys, and the evidence is there. The house is still standing. For those of you who are skeptics, there was an El Nino, houses were swept, my house is still standing. So kind of makes you feel like, there is proof. So, and then if I add the anti-termite treatment, that is 16,000. And guys, hypothetically, I've told you that is not what I used, and I've suffered because of that. But if I'd used the right premise, it would have come to 44,410. Yes, you've done the floor, you've done the foundation. And guys, if I was to do the labor, because something I need to point out, the advantage of using something else, an advantage of using the alternative construction method of filling tires as opposed to using a fundi is you do not need skilled labor for filling in or compacting the tires. Okay, you just need semi-skilled. So how unawalipa nusu ya fundi? There we used to pay them, guys, do you want there? Me, I used to pay them 500 per day. I think in Nairobi is around 6 to 7 depending on the quality of work, but generally I would work with them. So guys, if you're considering using these alternative construction methods like I did, pia you need to be hands-on. It will help you. Si uko Nairobi, watu wanajenga sijui shago, you think the house is going to be cheap. Me, I would chip in. I would literally, I'm the one who was, yo kuchimbua, I would show them, I would do the levels. So if you're that type of person who would like to learn the skills so that you can direct them, and you for this thing, assuming you will not be there, assuming you don't have the skills, because for me probably I lacked out because I did the setting out myself. Okay, so I did not need a fundi. And for the leveling of the tires, I had a spirit level. It was very easy. It's just, I've shown in that A-frame video how I was leveling it. It's very simple. But if you'd like to use this type of method in your building, I would advise for the setting out, unless you just get a fundi to just set it out, okay? And then after how they'll do everything else, okay? That one fundi, you'll need them hiyo wakati wa kukunja hiyo chuma, kukunja that bond beam. But if you follow me, I'll explain in depth how I did it, and then you can give the instructions. It's very straightforward, but you'll need a fundi for that, okay? So you'll need a fundi for the setting out day, you'll need a fundi for the beam, that's all. And for the laying mazeras, you'll also need a fundi. But for the rest of the work, you just need, which is actually where the labor was going to, hiyo compact na laying the tiles and compacting, that was where the labor was. And I calculated it was actually 4,500, okay? 4,500 because niyo tu kujaza mtaro. Normally it was, you just chimba the mtaro to accommodate that one tire, okay? Okay, that one tire. So you're not going so deep as you do using those other construction methods. Okay, and yes, that's the foundation cost. And so guys, before I even end this video, there are very many ways of building a house. Alternative construction methods. Okay, this is something I actually wanted to talk about. I don't know if I should do this or do it in the next video, but let me just summarize. So tires is one way. Okay, there are other methods. There is a way you can use hardcore bila simiti and lay it on top, and you have, you know, it's an alternative way of doing the kawaida foundation the way we are used to. You can do piers. Piers is where unatengeneza columns, like assuming this is a square, like this house, it's a rectangle. So at the corners, you do some columns and one at the center. So your house is suspended. That is another way. But again, there are instances where you can use poles, okay? Instead of using what I used, you can use poles or the concrete columns. You can use poles, timber poles, well treated, but then that is when you're doing a smaller A-frame. Okay, this is a big house, so there is the whole structural element. But guys, I've realized there are very many ways of killing a rat. And in this channel, moving forward, I want to be concentrating, which I have been, in these fundamental alternative construction methods, because I believe it's time people need to know that there are these options out there. Because I'm seeing precast, which is, it's catching. There's this way for precast, there's Narugo, but guys, on this channel, if you're new, I'll be focusing on, there's cob ni matope. You can do walls using matope, cob walls. You can use hay ni nyasi, ile unalisha ng'ombe, which is what I've used in this A-frame. You can use tires, which is what I've used in this A-frame. You can use gunny bags. You know, sasa just mchanga. Mchanga, by the way, there's so many things you can do. You can put it in sacks, and then you lay them on top of each other, and then you plaster, you still have a wall. So guys, I'll be exploring these alternative construction methods and what differentiate, and I'll be covering like what differentiates them from the conventional construction methods. First of all, yes, and based on that, in fact, I need to note this. Sorry, I'm all over the place. Guys, if you've been following me, that's who I am. That's Patricia. You know, she's all over the place, but that's how my mind works. So, when I was building this house, you know, like the vision for it. I've often been asked, like, why were you doing this house? Because it was very whimsical, but I know deep down, I wanted to show that you can adapt other construction methods and come up with something very beautiful. So I wanted to showcase, you know, that on the ground in my plot, okay? So I've incorporated so many so many different methods, and people ask me, like, why couldn't you just stick with one? If you're doing hay, like I did the straw bale walls, why couldn't you just stick to hay, like for the entire house? But guys, you have the answer. I want to show you like the different possibilities. The idea is for, if you're interested in natural building, you can come and experience and see it all at a go, okay? So we have hay, we have the blocks. Next, we're going to be doing a cob workshop where I'm going to be doing the interiors. Guys, you guys have been asking me, show us the interiors, show us the interiors. Guys, the cat is out of the bag. I didn't want to do the interiors. First of all, I wanted to just the normal way. You know how you use gypsum? Because again, I told you the whole point is to to showcase the possibilities that we have. And guys, the magic is in the finishes. Okay, so nikiwaambia nyumba ya matope, most people, like, I'm going to be doing the ceiling in like 2 months time. And guys, I'm actually going to be doing a workshop. So if you're interested in cob ni nyumba ya matope, and the ceiling, that is earthen ceiling, I'm going to be showing you photos of, you know, what cob house looks like. And if you're interested in that, kindly let me know in the comments below. I don't know if I was thinking I can get just people to fundis to come and do it, but I've been getting like a lot of requests from you to train people in the alternative construction method. So guys, I've seen an opportunity. So because of that, if you're interested in becoming part of the cob ni matope, wacha niache kuita kwa wazungu wanaita cob, you know, wattle and daub. But sasa sisi ni zile nyumba za matope za kukandika, but there is a science to it. Hukandiki tu, there is a reason pia. Us wenye tumelelewa kwa nyumba za matope, you know, once you go into the modern aspect of it, you don't want to go back there because the finishes ilikuwa ish. But what if you could incorporate those traditional methods, add some science to it by understanding like the why you should do this instead of this, you know. So it's a mishmash of the traditional and the modern way of building. So guys, long story short, there's going to be a workshop, and if you're interested kindly write to me at write in the comments below. Let me see if there's going to be some bit of quorum. Okay, so guys, that's the cost of my foundation. Stay tuned for the next video, and if you've not subscribed, kindly subscribe to this video.